Deep within the heart of Arizona, the earth cracks open into a labyrinth of canyons, a breathtaking yet haunting sight. Towering sandstone walls, painted in hues of crimson and gold, cast long, eerie shadows that dance with the setting sun. These canyons, beautiful and desolate, whisper tales of ancient spirits and forgotten magic, stories etched into the very fabric of the land. Hikers, drawn to their rugged beauty and mysterious allure, often speak of an unsettling presence that seems to follow them, a feeling of being watched, an inexplicable sense of eyes lurking in the shadows. Some whisper of the Skinwalker, a malevolent entity that can take any form it desires, blending seamlessly into the wilderness. These are more than just stories, they are warnings etched into the very rock itself, a testament to the ancient fears of those who came before. Warnings that some choose to ignore, venturing into the wilderness with hearts full of adventure and minds blissfully unaware of the dangers that lurk. But the canyons hold their secrets close, and sometimes those secrets have a way of finding you, revealing themselves in the most unexpected ways, especially when you least expect it, when the shadows grow long and the silence becomes deafening. The sun beat down on Emily and Jake as they hiked deeper into the canyon. Laughter echoed off the sandstone walls, their joy as bright as the wildflowers dotting the path. They had been dating for a year, their bond strengthened by a shared love of adventure. This trip to Arizona was a celebration, a chance to escape the city and reconnect with nature.
Look at those lizards basking on the rocks, Jake, and the hawks circling high above. It's just so beautiful here.
Jake, an amateur photographer, captured their journey with his camera, his lens drawn to the interplay of light and shadow on the canyon walls. They were carefree, lost in their own world, oblivious to the unseen eyes watching them. The silence was the first thing to change. The cheerful chatter of birdsong faded, replaced by an unnerving quiet. Emily felt a shiver run down her spine, a primal instinct warning her of danger. She stopped, turning to Jake, her smile faltering.
Do you hear that?
She whispered, her voice tight with unease. Jake paused, listening intently.
Hear what? It's just quiet is all.
But even as he spoke, he felt a prickle of unease. The silence wasn't peaceful, it was heavy, oppressive. And then they heard it, a faint sound like an echo of their own voices, whispering their names from the depths of the canyon. The hair on the back of Jake's neck stood on end. The voice was soft, almost indistinguishable from the wind whistling through the canyons, but it was there, a ghostly whisper of Emily's voice calling his name.
Emily, is that you? He called out, his voice echoing off the canyon walls.
Over here! Help me! The voice was closer now, coming from the cluster of trees just off the main trail. Jake didn't hesitate. He rushed towards the sound, his concern for Emily overriding any fear or caution.
I'm coming, he shouted, pushing through the undergrowth.
But as he did, a cold dread settled in his stomach. Emily was right beside him, her hand gripping his arm, her eyes wide with terror.
That wasn't me, Emily whispered, her voice trembling with fear.
The blood drained from Jake's face as he realized the horrifying truth. Something was toying with them, mimicking their voices, luring them deeper into the canyon. He pulled Emily close, his grip on her hand tightening.
We need to go now, he hissed, his voice urgent and desperate.
They turned to run, their backpacks bouncing against their backs, but it was too late. A low growl echoed through the canyon, sending chills down their spines. It wasn't the growl of a mountain lion or a bear. It was something else, something ancient and evil, something that had been waiting for them, lurking in the shadows. They scrambled over rocks and fallen trees, their lungs burning with every breath they took, their legs screaming for respite, muscles aching from the relentless pace. But the sound of their pursuer was getting closer, echoing through the dense forest, its heavy breathing a terrifying counterpoint to their own ragged gasps, a constant reminder of the danger lurking behind them. As they rounded a bend in the trail, hearts pounding in their chests, they came to a sudden halt, eyes widening in shock. Standing in the middle of the path, blocking their way forward, bathed in the dappled sunlight filtering through the canyon walls, casting eerie shadows, was a creature that defied description, an abomination of nature. It was tall and gaunt, towering over them, its skin stretched taut over a skeletal frame, every bone visible beneath the surface. Its eyes, burning like hot coals, glowing with an unnatural light, seemed to pierce through them, filled with a malevolent intelligence, filled with a chilling intelligence. It snarled, a guttural sound that echoed through the canyon, a sound that seemed to vibrate deep within their bones, sending shivers down their spines, and Jake knew they were looking at the embodiment of all the canyon's dark legends. The Skinwalker, a creature of nightmares come to life. Jake shoved Emily behind him, his own fear momentarily forgotten in the face of her terror. The canyon walls seemed to close in around them, amplifying every sound, every heartbeat. He grabbed a rock, his hand trembling, and hurled it at the creature. The weight of the stone felt insignificant against the enormity of their fear. The rock passed straight through it, as if it were nothing more than a mirage. The creature's form wavered, almost mocking their futile efforts. The Skinwalker laughed, a hollow, chilling sound that echoed through the canyon. It was a sound that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once, freezing their blood. And then, as quickly as it had appeared, it was gone. Jake didn't hesitate. He knew they had to move, and fast. He grabbed Emily's hand and they ran, fueled by adrenaline and pure terror. Their footsteps echoed in the narrow passageways, a frantic rhythm of survival. They didn't stop running until they stumbled out of the canyon, blinking in the harsh sunlight, their chests heaving. The open sky felt like a distant promise of safety. Jake looked back, but there was no sign of their pursuer. The silence was almost deafening, a stark contrast to the chaos they had just escaped. Only the wind whispered through the canyons, carrying with it the echoes of their terror. It was as if the canyon itself was alive, remembering the fear it had witnessed. Emily was safe, but the memory of that day and the chilling mystery of the Skinwalker would forever haunt them. The experience had etched itself into their souls, a permanent scar. And somewhere, deep in the heart of the canyon, the entity that had hunted them smiled, waiting for its next victims. The canyon held many secrets, and the Skinwalker was just one of them.